our amazing.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome again to our next episode. Diversity is the game changer. Welcome to our show. A very amazing guest I'm hosting today. A great privilege and honor for me. And our episode has very special title, which is called FEARTOBER.Crafting Stories that Win. The Art of Film Production with Anthony Azcarate. Did I pronounce right, my dear?
Yes, Valeria.
Yeah.
You did pronounce it right, and I appreciate it because my name, most people, they don't pronounce it right. I've been called all kinds. You'd be surprised how many names how people have pronounced my last name other than Ascarate.
Mm.
But anyhow, I'm very happy and appreciate you having me on your show today. Thank you, Valeria.
Thank you for joining us and sharing the most precious value we have, special in our modest world. It's your time. Time, it's most, I know, underestimated value we have now. We should really learn more about that. So, welcome today, exactly again to exciting episode. We are thrilled to be joined by incredibly talented and award-winning writer and director, whose work has not only captivated audiences but also earned prestigious accolades. Anthony brings a wealth of experience to the table, having mastered the art of storytelling through directing, editing, writing, and videography. Now, as part of Azcarate Productions, he creates stunning visual narratives that push boundaries across multiple platforms. Get ready for a behind the scenes look at the creative process, industry insights, and tips from someone who's truly at the top of their craft. So, welcome again, my beautiful audience. Probably you know already a little bit how I pronounce usually this special challenging time in Norway. So I have influenza, but the art of collaboration and the spirit from this beautiful gentleman, because I already had the privilege to talk to him before a couple of times. Nothing could stop me from having this beautiful show with him today. So again, welcome, Anthony. Let's jump to the first questions. I'm very excited to know, and I hope my audience too, and I know that we would love to hear about your childhood and how did your early ages and environment you were brought up and raised possibly influence your passion for filmmaking and storytelling. Please.
Yes. Well, when I was my the big influence was when I was really a young child. My father would take the family, including myself, two brothers, and my mother. We would go to the movie theaters and we would watch movies. We go to movie theaters. Then it used to be two feature films. Nowadays, it's only one over here in the U.S. They only show one at a time. They don't
Mm-hmm.
show two. And growing up as a child, all the way through my childhood, our highlight of our week, we go to school, especially in the summer when we
Mm-hmm.
were off. We would go to the movie every Saturday. We go to the movie theater. We'd walk to the movie theater, me and my two friends and my brothers, and we go watch movies. And they would show two movies. They had a matinee in between. It was really exciting. We were just like, that was our Saturday. We would talk about the movie we were going to watch before, and then we would see the previews for the next week, and we were excited. We get out. We would start our day walking, probably like at 11 a.m. The movie would start like at 12:15. We get our candies and popcorn. We go in there and all excited, watch the movie. We
Mm-hmm.
would get out of the movies in the evening, all excited, talking about what we just saw and how excited we were to watch the next round of movies that were shown in the previews. And pretty much this went on throughout my childhood. I always loved movies, And then as a young adult, I they came out with a DVD. First it was VHS,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you remember, but there was VHS, and we would go rent movies. And I would always my bad habit, good habit, bad habit, whatever you call it. I would rent all the new releases. I was like the number one customer at the video store. They knew
Okay.
me by name because I was the guy that rented movies, all the new releases like every day, and I was always late because I always rented way more movies than I could see. I would
Okay.
rent like it was ridiculous. There was like five new releases. I
Uh-huh.
wanted five of them, and I couldn't watch all five of them. I would only watch maybe three of them. So I would keep the other ones a day more, one more day, 2 more days, pay late fees, and the
Mm-hmm.
video stores loved me, so they would hold the new releases for me. And then my passion, I didn't realize I had a passion for film until later on in life when I went to I was going to take up a psychiatric class, and I
Mm-hmm.
ended up taking a film class because they didn't have no room, and I ended up falling in love with film. And
Mm-hmm.
from there on, it's been a match made in the universe for, you know, it's always been that way. I just didn't realize it, but I love film.
Yes. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. So it's fun to know um, how we people, when we really into something, right? So, uh, like you mentioned, now you were perfect this customer for um, a release store. Right? It's the same with the girls. You know, we have so many shoes, but it's never enough. We don't have anything to wear, and so you can wear, you can buy more and more and more. They can be there, and suddenly like you never wear them. It's like, oh, okay, I bought these shoes, but you know it's never enough. So amazing. So you could already feel that great passion to the films. And you also asked if I remember. You know, I made in Soviet, and I remember, of course, that TV. We had TV, but not digital, of course, not like special choice. We could also, like, you know, to be excited about on the TV program. So it was sometimes maybe, like you said, we could were really looking forward to the weekends. And I even remember because you know in Soviet it was everything what was from abroad, it was not good enough or bad, it was bad propaganda for us. So we had just our type of fields, which I love, still respect very much. But we, of course, when the first time we saw Disney movie and Disney cartoon movie, we were in shock. Like, what is it? Is it totally another space? So I still remember that impression on me. Thank you so much. And then, okay, you didn't have the place in psychiatric class, and you discovered that film it's not just maybe passion from your childhood, and then it was the turning point which sparked your great interest into put that path into your career. Or yeah, can you just tell us a little bit more about how actually maybe we can inspire other people when they realize it's their calling, what how they actually should proceed, yes, to become actually really this passion, talent and hobby, also your work, your job you love in many hours of your life, that you can align everything together. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. Well, I I believe that everybody should discover their passion and seek your passion, because I'm one of the fortunate people in this world that are actually living my dream. My dream, I mean, filmmaker, writer, making movies, big feature movies for Hollywood in the indie world. And I really believe everyone should I should have that um every that fortune that I had, an opportunity. unfortunately, many people, we don't know. It took me a long time to find my passion. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a maker, I had a business before. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I did legal work, and I was in that for about 25 years. And then I decided I wanted to do something different in my life, and I discovered film. And film has always been there for me because back in my childhood, like what I mentioned before, that I always watched movies and I always loved movies and I would rent more DVDs than I could watch. And I always enjoyed that was like the enjoyment of my life. It's been movies, watching movies, and then getting into horror movies. Horror was just one of the genre of horror is something that really captivated me, watching some of the old time movies like Halloween and The Thing and Jaws and uh, what do you call it, Scream, and we saw these as a child and as a teenager, and I really enjoyed being scared, and I'm very happy, and I went the educational route. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of not everybody takes the educational route. Some people are just able, they're just great, and they're able to. But it's not. Those numbers are not big numbers. You could count those probably in one or two hands. How many people make it in the film industry that don't go the educational route? But and then again, it's such a tough industry to break through. It's
Yeah.
not. Well, as you know, it's that's why there's not as so many people that there's like a million writers here in
Mm-hmm.
California, and only so many are ones making movies and writing. But I'm one of the fortunate ones, and I'm very thankful to God that He gave me opened up my doors, and now my passion and my dreams are a reality.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I immensely appreciate, and I love this story. We've been already discussing a little bit before we actually pushed the button on record that yes, everything in this world, because me and Anthony, we believe in God, right? And sometimes I call it universe, but I actually mean by God. And we know that if you are doing something really in your life aligned with your passion and calling, but you're working hard, it's not like you sit and just, oh, I found my calling, now I just relax and do that. No, it's about perseverance, determination. It's about a lot of education. It's a lot of about hours, hard job, efforts, initiative, everything. All right, but you feel immediately this vibration when you do something right, not wrong, but right. And for me, it's very, very interesting, particularly interesting about this horror genre. And I already asked actually a little bit lesson of English from Anthony today because I didn't know how to pronounce this word correctly, because in my language it's genre, in Norwegian it's genre, but in English it's genre. Okay, because I wanted to sound a little bit professional. But about this horror, you know it's kind of very special direction, which I cannot say that it was not particularly interesting or attractive for me. It was in the beginning, probably, but because I'm neurodivergent with OCD, and OCD, it's actually intrusive thoughts, and they can be really, really scary, and they can be all kind of thoughts. So I'm joking. I'm so self-confident now about my speciality of my brain that I'm sometimes joking that I don't need to watch horror films because I have the whole screenplay scenario in my head when I have severe episodes all the time. And I'm joking that if one screen write, writer would be sitting close to me and just making notes sometimes what kind of intrusive thoughts I have, we could be billionaires. It's like, it's a joke, of course. And I was talking to your friend Gary when we had our podcast, right? So I said, oh no, Gary, horror, no, 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 that's not for me. I have enough horror in my head. But my question is, because this is like combination of feeling that you are scared, and then and this film keeps you involved emotionally all the time, so deeply, right? What is for you actually especially about this type of genre? Why is it horror, and why do you believe actually people like it so much? Because it's scary, and to be scareful, it's not the most convenient actually feelings we have. But what kind of magic you believe in this genre?
Well, what attracts me to this genre and attracted me to this genre was the way I felt. Exactly some of the stuff you're mentioning, Valeria. How I felt about when I was in that position in the movie theater watching a horror movie, and I found it for me. I mean, not everybody's like me, and that's why there's horror fans that are like me. There's many of them, and
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed um, the roller coaster of a ride. It's like a ride. It's a ride of emotions,
Uh-huh.
and that ride of emotions from watching something that puts you in suspense, and then from suspense you go from suspense to being scared, and then from being scared to jumping out of your seat because you got surprised. Something jumped out of the screen at you, and you weren't expecting it. And to me, that's what attracted me to film, is the emotion of suspense and horror. And the way my writing is a combination of psychological horror,
Mm-hmm.
but not just regular horror like a slasher movie or a demon possession type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make my films, because it's what I'm attracted to, is psychologically uh, terror terrorizing people's minds,
Mm-hmm.
terrorizing what's your deepest fears inside of you. Besides just what you see, it's also what you're afraid of. We're all afraid of something, you know. Everybody has a fear. I mean, the unknown is a scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is scarier when you don't know what's behind. When you're able to see, if you're afraid of something and you get to see it, I think that takes away the suspense of fear. But when you don't know, you hear a sound and you don't know where it came from and what made that sound, that's what makes things scary.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy, I in a weird way, I used to love being in that, going through that emotional ride in fiction and getting out of the movie theater and realizing, being all weird, feeling my hands like nervous, with a nervous feeling, but put a smile on my face at the same time. And I said, wow, this is not even real. This is just a movie. I have a life to live. Thank God I'm not going through this. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
But it was such a great ride. It was like people that thrill seekers that get on roller coaster rides. They go
Mm-hmm.
on this roller coaster, it goes 60, 70 miles per hour, loops around, and people are upside down and they're scared to death for those 2 minutes of the ride. They're scared, but they get out of there smiling. And that's what I love about horror. And that's what my goal is. When I write a story,
Mm-hmm.
I write it to terrorize you, not only to terrorize you, to give you the suspense and the thrills, and give you also the psychological terror.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what attracts me to horror, the horror genre.
Adorable. You know, you I love being on the show because I'm always training my brain muscle and to give so much food for my brain, because I already know now I learned the new terminology from you, like psychological horror. It's so beautiful that it's already gave me so much meaning, and it really makes sense that it's true. Like when you're there, you really expose yourself to the edge, and then when you're out, like they're smiling because it's like relief. Oh my god, it's not even true. Thanks god, I'm so lucky and happy where I am in my life now. It's sometimes like nightmare, right? When you wake up, it's like oh, okay, okay, it's not real. It's like, but yes, psychological horror. It's really appeals to me because I'm also, I'm nerd, and in everything what I do, I'm trying to reflect. Why is it like that? Why people do like this, and what is behind that? But for me, what you explain now, it's very conscious choice what you are doing and why people go in there. So I think now actually it is the time to delve a little bit and reveal our exciting story, which we would like to share with our audience, right? And I know you are currently working also on the horror jam, and this project called is Feartober. So can you please tell us a bit about the creative process behind this screenplay, and what makes this story stand out for you as both writer, your idea, and of course, please don't be shy. I know you also got recognition and award for this screenplay. So could you share the news about this horror jam?
Okay, yes, Feartober. I Feartober was inspired by what inspired me. Several classic horror films actually inspired Feartober. I took different parts of movies, not 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 the general. I just the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Certain the way I wrote my screenplay. I looked at what made certain movies that I saw that are classic horrors. What made them scary? What made the people jump? What made them jump out of their seats? So inside my mind, I already had all these horror movies, and actually Feartober is a trilogy of terror.
Oh,
It's pretty much unheard of in a way, because just like kind of like, I don't know if you've seen Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. This is kind of like, I mean, I can't compare it to Lord of the Rings, but at the same time, it is horror movies usually. This is all horror in a sense. It's a trilogy. This is the first. Feartober is the
oh,
first trilogy of horror movies that I have already written. This is
uh-huh.
October. The second one is called Slaughter of the Shepherd, and the
Uh-huh.
last is called Black Candle. And this is really all Feartober, Slaughter the Shepherd. It's all part of Black Candle. It's all. It's
Mm-hmm.
just almost not exactly like episodic movie, but because we do have some different characters in it, but the characters are related. All the characters in all three movies are all related. Our protagonists in all three movies are family members. They're all either cousins or uncles.
Mm-hmm.
All these people that are going through these terrifying experiences in our movies,
Mm-hmm.
our main characters, the protagonists,
Mm-hmm.
are all they're all family members, and it's all one story about one antagonist, one villain, one very evil villain that we
Mm-hmm.
don't see in the first Feartober, and we don't see, but we see some of the stuff some of the things that happen, some of the scenes that all it comes together with one nice little puzzle at the end of Black Candle.
Mm-hmm.
And Feartober, I Feartober is a psychological thriller. It's
Mm-hmm.
psychological. It's terrifying. I the creative process it took me to write it was, like I said, it was pretty much getting ideas of scaring people and some of my deranged brain. I would say
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. I just think about what's the best pot, and some of it have a lot to do with my education too. Stuff I learned about structuring a story, how to
Mm-hmm.
structure a story, and some of it not from school. It's kind of like a 50-50. Some from school. Every little piece I could grab into my blessed creative mind that God has given me. I was able to put this story together. And actually, this story started with three other screenplays. I,
Wow.
I took a piece from three different stories
Mm-hmm.
and I put them into Feartober. And believe it or not, what's crazy about this Feartober, the whole idea came when I was delivering a screenplay to a friend of mine who was going to read my screenplay. And he said, do me a favor, don't send it to me digitally, print it out, and I'll read it and I'll tell you what I think about it. So I went ahead, I made copies, and I put
Mm-hmm.
it in an envelope, a vanilla and envelope, a large envelope. And then I thought to my in my head, wow, wouldn't this be scary if I put on the envelope, I put a message like I put in his front door and I put, don't open until Halloween. And I thought the whole idea, I was having somebody read my other script,
Uh-huh.
and this idea came out of nowhere. And next thing you know, I was writing it, and then I put other screenplays, like from three other screenplays. I developed my characters from other screenplays, and next thing you know, I got this award-winning film. I mean, award-winning story,
Mm-hmm.
award-winning screenplay, which I'm very proud of, and so is our team. We're all very happy, and now we want to make that into an award-winning horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Is great, and I'm very pleased with our team we have.
Amazing. I learned so much. It's so exciting for me to delve in this completely new topic for me, and what made me now amazed that when you said that, oh, this idea came like from nowhere, and I could say, oh, this could be really like cool or scary. Actually, when you are writing this story, are you scared yourself, or you're most excited?
Um, when I'm writing it, I I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm scared. I do think about fear. What would scare me?
Mm-hmm.
But I am part of the audience. I am also the audience. I also watch horror movies, and I love watching horror movies. So I am also the audience as well. So I think about what would scare me, and I write in that format to scare people,
Yeah.
to them as I would be scared.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything, I get excited when I write something and I'm writing it, and then I look at myself, I say, wow, this is good. And I'm not trying to be conceited, or I just I just know because I read it, and I'm writing it, and it just flows. It's like the characters in my brain. I can hear them talk. I go to sleep at night, and I'm like half awake, half asleep, and I hear my characters talking to each other. And sometimes it's so good, I wake up and I start writing it down. Well,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I get ideas like that, and also ideas and dialogue, and I write it down. And some days I can't even sleep. I just keep writing, and I stay up. I guess people say they don't know if it's a blessing or a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. It's very much like that because as a writer, I think a lot of writers experience this, even if it's not horror. They still experience, this same process when your characters are talking. You go to
Mm-hmm.
sleep. It's just like it's so intense. The
Yeah.
age, you're almost like in a trance,
Mm-hmm.
hypnotized into your story, and you don't think about anything in the world. You're just so immersed into your story and your characters, and you're just writing and writing and writing and writing. And then sometimes my mind is working 1,000 miles per hour. It's already like 3 in the morning in my time, 3 a.m. You would think I'm tired. I am tired, but I'm not sleepy.
I
I'm,
know. Yeah.
my mind just keeps thinking because it's
Mm-hmm.
like the mind is such a powerful tool. The mind is such a powerful tool. That's why I think psychological horror is such a I love it, such a great genre because you could scare people by jump scaring them, which I do have jump scares in mind as well, which is
Mm-hmm.
movie fun. But psychological terror gets inside our deepest fears.
Mm-hmm.
We all have some fear in us. Some people have the fear of dying. A lot of people do. Because
Yeah.
why are we afraid to die? If we psychologically break it down and think about it, we're afraid to die because it's unknown. There's never been anybody that we know that has died and has told us what the experience is like,
Yeah.
what like. Therefore,
Exactly.
it's unknown to us.
Mm-hmm.
Unknown is always the scariest, and it could be very terrifying, and it could be psychologically terrifying.
Yeah. Then I actually reflect. It can be also used like a very good medical actually tool, like therapy. If you know about phobias, even about my neurodivergence, actually the way to reduce it, you should face your fears, right? So it's not escape from them, but actually go towards them and face them. And then it's actually a very powerful tool, can be for even self-healing or therapy, to watch movies, to really feel and life, to live through them, right? And how you can actually reduce the fear. But fear, it's fundamental reflex or feeling we have, and it's actually very healthy to have it. It's what protects us because it's fight or flight. It's how the whole nature function, right? So fear, it's love, everything between love and fear. So
Yes,
it's very healthy, like you said. It makes very much sense to me. It's about psychological aspect of horror genre. So thank you so much. And now I would like uh, to you already start mentioning that you are so blessed, and that's I also believe that it's blessing when you can go your calling path, and then you even can share with people who also found their passion, and all together they can collaborate and grow this passion together by uh, sharing knowledge, expertise, and passion and talent, right? Then how real magic creates. So here also about Feartober, collaborating with a talented team is a key to bringing a project to life, right? Not just in movie everywhere, but especially in some creative industries. So how do you believe fostering then diversity in with the film? Because my podcast, our show called Diversity is the Game Changer, and filmmaking, it's always about diversity, how you actually get it work together, right? How you can marry all people, especially so creative, talented people, right? With so a lot of emotions and everything. They are all diverse, diversity on minds, cultural diversity, traditional gender diversity, right? And we still, at the end of the day, like football team, they are all diverse with all diverse tasks, but we should play like a team to give the result. And what's your approach? What's your idea if it's so diverse? Talents, diversity of minds, mind thoughts. What is the best recipe to put them together, to cook them, and they still can, you know, can give the best result, the best taste? What is like, what is this little magic? Because I came from Soviet again, so it was like control, control, control. Now I live in Scandinavia. It's always trust. It's trust based. It's how people themselves should find the way. What do you think in this creative project, creative industry like filmmaking, and so diverse talents, prima donna and solo, everything? What is the best? You never know best way. It's always different. I know it's always different teams, but how you actually approach all these diverse uh, talents, actually, yes, all this gem, every person already gem, right? And how then, oh, you have to you have to like glue them all together. It's beautiful. It's beauty in that's why it's the beauty of the collaboration, but it can be challenging as well, right? What do you think the best recipe?
Um, yes, I believe the best recipe for making a film of this of and I think this would go for any film, it being any on any genre, could be
Mhm,
comedy, action, drama. In this case, it's a horror film. I think important number one, if you are making a horror film, I think it is important that you get a team that likes horror first of all, because then they understand it better. That means they watch horror movies
mhm,
and the genre better as an audience first. We all have to be an audience first, and that's where I started as an audience, and that's why I understand what scares people. And it's important to have a team, a collaborative team, to all collaborate in trying to scare people and add fear and terror and make a movie. I'm not a fan of horror comedies. There's a lot of horror comedies and have done really well and have been good, great movies. But
mhm,
I'm a fan of mixing comedy with horror.
mhm,
I mean, it is a genre where they have horror comedy, but to me, I like straight horror. I like comedy. I do enjoy comedy. I enjoy comedic movies. I like watching comedy, and I like laughing, and I like dramas. I like having a little tear come to my eyes when a sad moment comes. I like emotional movies. I like thrillers. But when it comes to horror, I like horror. I like being scared, terrified, go through the thrill ride of being scared, like a roller coaster ride, like I mentioned before.
mhm,
Or that your team that's assembled together, that most of the people in your team are the same way. They are the audience. They have watched horror films. They do enjoy horror and have a great idea about horror. But also not just that. In addition, I would say you gotta let everybody do their job. Like I'm on the creative side. I'm gonna be assistant director on this film and
mhm,
giving my vision as a writer, what I wrote, making sure my vision comes to life on the screen. But you gotta allow the executive producer and the producer get the talent, but everybody has to collaborate and agree. Like you mentioned, it's all one team. It's like, you know, to make a touchdown in American football, it takes more than one. It's not just the quarterback who threw the ball. It's
mhm,
the that blocked. It's the receiver that caught it. It's the coach that drew up the plan, drew up the play for.
Mm-hmm.
It's all. It takes so many components to make a touchdown, and that's what we're trying to do with this horror film. We're taking all the components, letting everybody do their job
Mm-hmm.
involved. Like the offensive lineman shouldn't be telling the quarterback how to throw the ball. The
Yeah.
court, the offensive lineman how to block, or the receiver how to catch it. Everybody knows their job. We're all professionals. We have a very talented team. We have an award-winning team all the way down the line, and I have confidence in everyone that is working with us, and great confidence. And you have to have confidence in your team members and trust them as they trust you to do a collaborate great picture movie genre together, a great horror genre, a great movie that takes the collaboration of all aspects, all positions in the sector.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. So actually, what you're saying now, so the team of professionals already pretty much decided. You already started. What stage of the pre-production you already in, and when we can actually um so actually, as I understand, Feartober is with October, right? And it's yeah. So I don't want to open more information, but uh, is it already like scheduled and everything, or which phase are you in, guys? Like when can we wait to see it? It will come to October, or what is the plan?
Well, the plan is to have this released in October.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of components. The pieces are still we're in pre-production
Mm-hmm.
slash still, but we're looking to start shooting. We're anticipating
Mm-hmm.
in June and May, but that's really a question that's hard for me to answer because that has more to do with the executive producer
Yeah.
and I'm more on the creative side, and it's really hard for me to answer that. I just, from what I hear, I don't really don't. I'm not a real confident giving out these answers,
Mm-hmm.
but I know and I heard I heard there was like a little secret going on that you have not mentioned to your audience. That
Mm-hmm.
you, Valeria,
Horror secret, no.
secret, yes, that you, Valeria, are also going to be a part of this film. It,
Yeah. Oh my god, and I hope it will be not horror, but yes, I hope it will be very professional horror. And I'm so excited. It's so great honor, first of all, and privilege for me to be chosen to play the role in this film. Oh my god, I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful for God that I will be surrounded by the greatest minds like yourself. And again, for me, at the end of the everything what I'm doing, I'm trying to really to put my soul into it and you. So I'm already the part of this project. I can open the secret, and I feel myself so blessed because I feel so really great to be around you guys. Thank you so much for trusting in me and giving me this chance. And I hope you will not be disappointed because you said the most important in the beginning that everybody should love horror films, but I live in them with my OCD. Believe me or not, I can been watching horror many years now. So it's time to actually do something with that. Perfectly. Before
beautiful.
we wrapping up, I can just ask last question because we're still on the show. Um, have you heard about this like new emergent type of diversity? Many people now, not many, but more and more talk about people like me with, like, spectrum, all different type of mental spectrum, like OCD, ADHD, autism, dyslexia, all this. And many people, I believe, they are very, very creative, especially creative, and can be great benefit in filmmaking, right?
Mhm.
But it's still a lot of prejudice, discrimination, stigma at the same time in community, because it's still people like thought about them like weird, awkward, strange. Like you said, even with dying and everything, which is we people, like, if we meet something unknown, unfamiliar, we kind of like this. We kind of scared. We don't want to deal with that. Maybe it's time to be a little bit more open and to open narrative that it's not just that scary and bad with people like me, like myself. That's why I started this podcast, and maybe we should create more inclusive environments for people with special type of brain, or we're all different, we're all unique. What do you think about that?
I I believe, just like you, what you said, we're all unique. Everybody, that's one thing. Everybody has a uniqueness about them, and we could all learn from each other. And that's what it's about. It's about, and I think that's what life is about. Also, it's not about. We all have our ways. We all think our ways are the best. We're all a little biased because let's just say we're ourselves. But we got to realize that everybody is unique, and when it comes to creative process and film, we gotta we gotta respect the talent that's around us. It's a collaborative industry. It's a collaboration is key, and
But you
realizing
always
and
remember the
knowing
feeling it gave.
what great talent you have around you, and being blessed to know that, being
Mhm.
happy and blessed, and um what do you call it, caressing it, holding on to it instead of rejecting it,
Mhm.
being being you know being, what's the word, man, I hate when I do it. But anyhow, just grasp it, hold it, don't fight it, be part of it. You're not bigger than the part. You're smaller. We're all small pieces that make this wonderful puzzle come to one picture.
Yeah.
And if we could do that and collaborate, then we could have something special, and we could make something special. And it just takes a whole team to make one great thing. It takes one piece. If a puzzle is
Yeah.
missing one piece, it's not complete. Everybody will not look at the entire puzzle and say, "Ooh, look at the puzzle." They're only gonna look at one thing. They're gonna
Mm.
say that puzzle is missing one piece,
Yeah.
or no one is gonna see. You could have a 500 pieces in a puzzle, and if it's missing one piece, that's the only thing people are gonna notice. They're not gonna notice the 499 other pieces.
Mhm.
Therefore,
Wow.
therefore,
Amazing,
yes,
metaphoric. And this, I love it. I'm going to use it. Actually, I am so visionary like you. I immediately could see it now, and that it's true. It's everybody's focus will be glued to this one little hole.
exactly,
Exactly. Wow. Amazing.
and
Thank
and
you so
therefore,
much for giving me this perspective. Very beautiful, very colorful, very, very structured, and very like this. Instead of thousands of words, how you put it now, because I'm really, really like, visionary. It's exactly about that. It's not the whole. Then its magic is lost. That's it. Yeah, so okay, last, we are wrapping up now. Beautiful, beautiful insights, amazing knowledge, and I'm always playing a little game. We start from childhood, a little bit uplifting, especially after horror. Yeah, okay, it's a little bit other genre. It's fairy tale and Disney movie, and this little beauty I purchased in Morocco, and I love pink. Maybe not very horror stuff, but quite effective as well. So if you know it, you know the Disney movie, right? You know the fairy tale, which
Yes.
yes, of course you are. And which movie then?
Oh, which movies have I seen?
No, I mean this yes, this special little beauty from which fairy tale?
Ah, let me see it. Oh, is that Oh, that's Aladdin.
Yeah, this is the lamp. This is my tiny helper here on the show. So, but it's tricky, a little bit tricky and sustainable. It cannot give three wishes. It's just one wish. And today it's your turn. If you have now the possibility to put your magical wish in this beauty, so what wish that would be? Can be anything you want.
Anything.
Anything. But
Wow.
not wishing more wishes. It's not. It's illegal.
Related to film.
What did
Not
you say?
okay. You're saying it's not related to film.
No, it's related to film. It's not allowed to wish for more wishes.
So it's about the wish has to be within the movies. Not
It's
it.
up to you. It's up to you, Anthony. It can be anything you want. Just one wish, not three. Not three.
Can I have three?
Yeah. No. No.
Okay.
After movie. After
Well,
movie.
it's hard to separate. I mean, if I was one wish, I mean, I would wish. I mean, of course, life is bigger than my films. I would wish that they could have a cure for all diseases, not just for cancer, every disease, and we could all live a longer life. That would be my number one wish, if there was one wish. But if it's related to film, then I would have a different kind of wish. I mean, there would be a more selfish wish, and as a selfish wish, it would be to um, have Feartober, Slaughter the Shepherd, and Black Candle, the trilogy, looked at, recognized as one of the best ever trilogies or best horror films ever, and become classics.
Anthony, you know, this is magical wish, and now I am going to journey you so much. It's not selfish anymore, it's malfish as well, because if I play professionally, and if you like me, guys, now I know it's actually a trilogy, then maybe I also have much more to come in my future, my
Yeah,
magic filmmaking future. So now I need to make special agreement with this little beauty.
I love it.
Great news. Okay, thank you so much for staying with us together, inspired by your story. Learning me so much. Now I'm so excited, even more. Wow, to delve into this completely new, diverse path for me. But I believe in God. Everything is destiny. Nothing is coincidence. I'm so blessed to have you now in my life, and thank you for joining us today. Talk about your incredible journey about filmmaking. It's been really pleasure hearing all your insights, all your knowledge, and we are so much looking forward to look everything right. And of course, we wish much luck to this first upcoming movie and trilogy, of course. And as I'm wrapping up now, to you and to our audience, I always like to use some quotes. So this show, I wanted to leave you with this quote by Steven Spielberg. The great thing about filmmaking is that it allows you to tell a story, not just with words, but with images, sound, and emotions. It's about connecting with people on a level that words alone can't. So thank you again for sharing your passion for storytelling with us. We can't wait to see what Feartober and your future projects, and mine as well, I hope so, bring to the screen. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for being with us, darling.
Uh, Thank you for having me, Valeria. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure spending this time with you and sharing my journey with you and the rest of your audience. And I wanted to say that I really look forward to seeing you in the movie and scaring everybody.
Oh yes.
So
Like this already.
I just
Oh
hope,
yeah.
I hope for you and the audience, I wish you all to have a very bad nightmare tonight.
Oh wow. Okay. Thank you. Because for me now, I know in California it's still there. For me it's 22:15. So I am okay. I'm approaching. I can share with you tomorrow morning what's calm in my mind. Okay, thank you, darling. And I can just share the news that we opened just a little bit about this very exciting project. And after being in Paris Fashion Week and advocating for sustainable fashion, which is very important now for sustainable movie, which we also take care of, right, Anthony? We will be advocating for sustainable fashion through our movie. So then we'll be back with a little bit more exciting information, which we can reveal. So stay tuned and stay scared.
Happy fears. Happy fears.
Happy years.
Happy
Bye
fears.
bye.
Bye.